We are in the second half of 2023 and a lot has happened in the UX world so far. All the way from novelties like hyper-personalization to AI hype, leaving a lot of designers wondering if they'll lose their jobs. Hi, I'm Ilya, the founder of Eleken, a product design agency for SaaS. And even though the year is far from over, we've got a lot to cover. So here are 6 noteworthy UX UI trends in 2023 so far. Kicking things off, we've got something extremely fascinating, which is the minimum lovable product. We're all familiar with the concept of minimum viable product. It's been a staple in the SaaS industry since forever. So what's the idea behind the minimum lovable product? The idea is that instead of shipping as fast as possible as soon as it's functional, you ship as soon as the product is lovable. Simply put, you focus on delivering an experience that customers will love. It's not a new term by any means. It was coined back in 2013 by Brian in the book of Lovability, how to build a business that people love and be happy doing it. It's good news for designers because what it boils down to is shipping smaller slices of the product that are already amazing rather than the full product that is just functional. When clients ask us to design a minimum lovable product, it usually sounds something like it already works, now make it look good. Now I'm quoting a CTO of one of our clients, DataWisp. As a result of our cooperation, DataWisp not only looked good but also progressed from a prototype to actual real usable software. Lovable enough to raise a 3.6 million seed round. Intrigued? I have a dedicated video where I tell the whole DataWisp story. Check it out. And up next we've got dopamine inducting palettes, which basically means that users really love bright colors recently. In our current era where we consume tons of content and our attention spans are low, tons of brands are taking notice. More and more products come out with bright and flashy designs to hook you in, keep your attention. So much so that even long-standing established brands that have a more muted color palette use dopamine inducting colors where they can, like advertisements or individual products. One of our projects that I can use as an example here is Glow Labs. It's an innovative loyalty rewards tool aimed mostly at young audiences. That's why the UI is more playful than what we typically make for analytics tools. Bright purple illustrations, icons, and even the font is not the most classic. There are a few shades of bright pink and accent colors, different from light and dark modes. Next up, we've got seamless cross-device experience. Cross-device experience, definitely not anything new. Big brands have been doing this for years now. So why is it on this list? Because being device agnostic is something that is becoming more and more crucial even for smaller brands. Starting one project on one device and continuing on the next is something that this huge amount of users cannot live without. Of course, the importance of having a cross-device experience also depends a lot on your product. But changes are, it's something that you should look into if your product doesn't have that yet. Our clients often come to Eleken for responsive design. For example, a property maintenance startup JobCall. JobCall originated as a desktop app, but now a majority of its users access the app from their smartphones. So one of the main requests was to make a mobile version more convenient. We moved the main menu into a hamburger menu so that it took less space and users didn't accidentally mistab the buttons. Place the Choose Property feature at the top of the screen so that it could be easily found. Redesigned this feature for open and close requests to make it better visible. To make the call log page accessible, we increased the size of the buttons, highlighted the important CTAs, and removed unnecessary headings. As a result, we made interface clean and the distances between design elements convenient enough for smooth cross-platform experience. And our next trend on the list is having accessibility features. More and more brands are taking into account that big chunk of the world population lives with a disability. And that had them thinking, how can we help them use our product? A good example would be traditional light and dark mode. People with astigmatism would prefer to have light mode in your product. Another example would be having a colorblind mode, where the color palette of your product changes completely to accommodate people who suffer from being colorblind. With that said, I think this is something that should concern products that already have a large user base. But if you're there, considering adding those features definitely isn't a bad idea. Now this next one is something that has existed as long as UX research itself, but is making a big comeback, and that is emotional design. So digital experiences right now are pretty mature, so usability and novelty are not enough to get the attention of your users anymore. That's why small touches like micro gestures or personalized micro copy go a long way in getting your users in the rhythm of using your product. We make a lot of our decisions based on emotions and impulses. So taking that into account when designing your product will give you a massive edge over your competitors. Let me show you what I'm talking about with the example of unexpectedly delightful UX in the Robinhood investing app. Robinhood uses this screen to tease the upcoming release. So what's so great about this experience? Unfortunately, I cannot show you what makes this message enjoyable. It's because the secret ingredient is a cool haptic effect. When the cute little rocket takes off, our phone vibrates in sync with the animation. It's such a surprising and memorable move from an otherwise serious fintech app. And the final point I'd like to touch on today is hyper-personalization. And you might be asking, personalization has been an industry standard since forever. What do you mean? Well, every product is personalized to an extent, but with emotional design on the rise and markets becoming more and more saturated, companies are looking for more ways to personalize their product experience. This means that more and more products are putting an emphasis on collecting massive amounts of data on their users. Now, this is a double-edged sword. On one hand, users will have more tailored experience to them, which will make their product experience better. But on the other hand, at some point, a customer will likely to find this extra personalization boring, overwhelming, or even creepy. According to comprehensive research conducted by Nielsen Norman Group, too much personalization in UX leads to a lack of diversity, content fatigue, and homogeneous user experiences. As a result, a product fails to deliver the content users actually strive to receive. Besides, data collection is something that more and more people are concerned about. So I don't know how this trend will play out, but we'll see. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I hope that was useful. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and see you in the next video.